let's take a look at some movie idioms. Now, we're only going to do a few, but these are really useful, and you could use them any day or any time, okay? So, like we said before, idioms come from something, come from some topic, and then you can apply them to everyday life, okay? So, movie idioms, or idioms that come from theater or shows and stuff like that, okay? So let's take a look at a few. And we're going to separate them into before an event happens, during an event, and then after the event, okay? And that's when we can use these different idioms, okay? So the first one we have is get the show on the road. So a lot of these idioms will have the word show in it. And show could be a theater show, like a play, or it could be a movie or acting or whatever, some kind of show. Now this phrase, get the show on the road, I believe it comes from a long, long time ago. There used to be groups of actors who would do a show in one town, then get on a car or a cart and then ride that to a different town, and the show goes and performs somewhere else. So get the show on the road, it goes to another place. So this phrase, it comes from that, but now we use it to mean let's get started. Maybe we're waiting around, we're wasting too much time, and we want to get started right now. Stop waiting, okay? So get the show on the road. So an example could be, let's say we're at work and we're having a meeting. And everyone's looking at their watch and saying, hey, we're supposed to start the meeting and we're waiting for Fred. But then the boss says, okay, we can't wait for Fred any longer. If he misses the meeting, that's on him, meaning that's his mistake. Let's get this show on the road. So get this show on the road means let's stop waiting and let's get started. Fred's late. We can't wait any longer. Let's get this show on the road. So anytime you want to hurry up and do something, you don't want to wait anymore, you can use this phrase and say, usually it's this with let's in the front. So, okay, let's move. Let's get this show on the road. Stop wasting time. Okay. Another one that is before an event, you may have heard this before. It's break a leg. So this is a tricky one, but break a leg, this is actually a nice thing to say to someone. So break a leg means good luck. What the heck? Why? So before someone has a performance, people think it's bad luck to say good luck. So if I say, oh, you're going to do a good job, we call that a jinx. And by saying the good thing, it will make a bad thing happen. And so you can't say good things because it will ruin stuff. That's where things like knock on wood come from. If you say a good thing, you're going to make something bad happen. Okay? So you can't say good luck because that means the person will have bad luck. So what you say is you say break a leg. So you're wishing that they break a leg, and by wishing for that, they'll actually have a good time and a good experience. So it comes from stage and performances, but we can use this for anything. Anytime someone is going to do something, you can say break a leg. Like, oh, you have a job interview this afternoon, right? Break a leg. So anytime someone's doing something or going somewhere to try something difficult, you can say break a leg. And it's a interesting way to say good luck. Okay? Next up is during an event. So maybe you're at work and you said, okay, let's get this show on the road. We have to start our meeting. And so now you're in the middle of the event. Things are happening. Now there are a few idioms from films and shows that you can use during stuff. Okay? The first is run the show. the word run means like to manage something and to make it work, right? So the company is running, the program is running. That's what run means. So if someone runs the show, what does that mean? Well, that means they're in control. They are the leader. Maybe they are managing the situation. Okay? So if we say someone is running the show, that means they're in control. They're the boss. They're leading whatever situation you're in. Okay, for example, let's say we're at that meeting. Fred was late, but let's get this show on the road. And then the boss says, in today's meeting, we're talking about sales in Japan. That's Clark's territory, so he'll run the show. So even though the boss is in the meeting, he's going to let Clark run the show, meaning that Clark is going to lead the meeting or be the boss of this meeting. Okay? So that's because that's Clark's territory. Maybe Clark is the manager of sales for Japan. And so you give him control of the meeting. So it's like, okay, we'll let him run the show. Got it? So you can use this for a lot of situations when you give someone control of a situation. Like if you're making dinner with a few of your friends and there are 4 of you, but your friend Timmy is a really good cook. You say, Timmy, you know what we're doing. You know how to cook. So you run the show. You tell me what to do. So you're telling him, be the leader, and then I'll listen to you. Okay? So you can always tell someone, you should run the show, or something like that. Okay? Another one is, the show must go on. So you're in the show. The show is happening. Someone is running the show. But then something bad happens. And then you say, oh, the show must go on. Okay. So this phrase means there's been a problem, but we can't stop what we're doing. So maybe, well, it could be anything. You're in some project or situation and something goes bad. Oh no, what a disaster. But you can't just end your project or end your event. And so you say, the show must go on. So let's say you're having a birthday party and Bob called to say that he forgot to bake a cake for the party. Oh no, you're going to have no birthday cake. What a disaster. And so he forgot to bake a cake for the birthday party. The show must go on. I'll run to the supermarket to get one. So you had this plan. Bob was bringing a birthday cake, but it's going to be okay. Even though that's a disaster, you have to continue. You can't cancel the party, so you have to figure it out. So this one, we will just say the sentence on its own. Say the problem and say, the show must go on. And maybe you'll say a solution, okay? Kind of like, well, yeah, it could be anything. Like if you're having a big event at work and there's a speaker that you invited to give a speech, and then you get a phone call and they say, oh, the speaker is sick. They can't go today. And you say, oh, geez, they were our main event for this meeting. But you say, the show must go on. We'll figure out some other activities for this event. And even though you don't have that speaker, you can figure out a way to keep everybody happy. Okay? So you have a problem. It's going to be okay. Just keep on going. Okay. Now, what about after an event? The event is finished, and so we start to talk about what happened at the event and how it went. Okay? So one phrase is someone stole the show. So steal the show, but we can change it to stole the show because it's past tense. Okay? And what that means, you can imagine you're watching a show or you're watching a movie and one person stole the show. What do you think that means? Well, they didn't actually steal anything. They stole your attention. So to steal the show means to become the focus of attention. maybe there are 5 actors. One actor was really, really good. You could say they stole the show. Everyone was watching that actor and then kind of forgot about the other 4. Okay? So this is a way to talk about a movie or a story, or even like a meeting. Maybe you have people giving speeches. And so, I gave a speech, but Johnny stole the show. Everybody liked his speech and they forgot about mine, or they didn't care about mine. Okay? So here's an example. Maybe you go to a concert. All of the singers were really great, but Alan stole the show when he sang that Beyonce song. So if a guy sings a Beyonce song and if he does a really good job, that would definitely steal the show. Beyonce is like a powerful female singer. So if Alan can do that, that'll definitely steal the show, right? So yeah, you could use this for meetings. Like, all 10 people gave presentations, but Rebecca stole the show. Everybody was paying attention because she gave the best presentation. Okay. And then one more, which is usually about movies and shows and stuff, but you could apply it to other things, is jump the shark. This is my favorite, so I saved it to the end. Jump the shark comes from an old TV show called Happy Days. In Happy Days, it was on TV for many, many years, but eventually this character, Fonzie, he got on water skis, like in this picture, and jumped over a shark. Now, what the heck? Why would they do that in a TV show? And it was a TV show about like kids growing up and going to a restaurant. And so suddenly it was totally ridiculous. And everyone's like, what the heck are they doing? And they did that because they ran out of ideas. So they thought, let's make it crazy, and then maybe people will still watch our show. So jump the shark was such a silly, crazy thing from that show, it became a phrase. And what this means is to do something totally ridiculous or go too far. And you go too far, do something too ridiculous that whatever you did, it becomes bad or stupid. So this is very common for movies or TV shows. Like this TV show is on for 3 years, but then it jumped the shark. They did something stupid, and then after that, it's so dumb. Okay? Now, I mentioned before that I love the movie Jurassic Park, right? But unfortunately, we can use Jump the Shark for the Jurassic Park movies. I think so. You might like them, but I think they're okay, but they're a little ridiculous. So I would say Jurassic World jumped the shark when they introduced a genetically engineered dinosaur with camouflage. So, jump the shark means they went too far, they went too crazy. So, Jurassic World jumped the shark when they introduced a genetically engineered dinosaur. So they took dinosaurs and changed it around a lot with camouflage. Camouflage meaning it can hide in the jungle. And I think that was the first most ridiculous thing in that series. Usually it's the first big silly thing, and then from there they just go more and more crazy, and you go, oh my god. And then there's a guy who can talk to dinosaurs, and they ride motorcycles through the jungle with dinosaurs. So I think that series jumped the shark. Yeah, it might be kind of entertaining, but I can't take it seriously. It's a little bit silly. Okay? You could use this to talk about other things too. Sometimes articles might use jump the shark to talk about people or companies doing something that's too ridiculous that just makes them seem stupid. Like, for example, there's a very rich guy who was sending messages on the internet saying like, oh, everyone should buy Dogecoin, which is the coin with a little dog on it. And It's like you're a super rich guy. Should you be talking about like doggy coins on the internet? I think maybe that guy jumped the shark. So there is an article using jump the shark to talk about that rich guy. He went too far, did something too crazy, and now you just kind of look silly. Okay? So yeah, these are some useful movie idioms that come from stories, come from theater, that we could use day by day. Let's just review. Before an event, you can say, let's get this show on the road. Hurry up, let's get started. You can say, break a leg to someone who's going to go do something like give a speech or give a performance. Then during an event, you can say, oh, this person's going to run the show, or that person is running the show. Means they're in charge, they're the leader. Then if there's a problem, you can always say, the show must go on. There's this big issue, but it's okay, we'll figure it out. We still have to finish it. We can't just go home. And then after an event, if someone was really amazing, you could say, wow, they really stole the show. Or this could be a good thing, or it could be a little bit of a negative thing. Like a negative thing would be that person took too much attention from everyone else, or it could be a good thing, that person was super amazing. And then last but not least, jump the shark, you can use to talk about people, about companies, but especially about stories when they like do something too ridiculous that it makes everything else they do seem kind of silly. Okay? And so those are our movie idioms for today. And hopefully you guys had a good time with this. Hopefully you can find some ways to get these into your life and use them in day to day. And try to figure out some situations you can fit these in. Okay? And so, yeah, we can wrap up here for today. What I'd like you to do is go on Wikipedia, look up some of your favorite movies, check what genre they are. See, is it a hybrid genre? Is it a subgenre? Is it something you've never heard of? It might be an interesting, fun thing to do. So you could do that for movies, you could do it for shows or books, whatever has a genre, anything with a story, okay? And yeah, if you're interested, leave a comment with what you find out, and that would be fun and interesting. And if you have any questions about what things mean, it's like, what is a supernatural psychoanalyst, what am I saying? Supernatural thriller with horror elements. What the heck does that mean? If you have any questions, you're always welcome to ask, right? So yeah, I think we can pretty much wrap up here for today. Thank you everyone for joining. I hope you learned something new. I hope you had some fun. And yeah, do your homework, check your favorite movies, find out what genres, subgenres, and hybrid genres they fit into, and then let me know, okay? Thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful Thursday. I already said all of this. And yeah, take care of yourselves. Happy weekend. Thank you. Bye-bye.